100% Chelsea. Manchester United won, Chelsea won. Time for my review of the game, and it was tight. It was tense. It was definitely not what Flex, I, and Scott and all the others all predicted. We thought it'd be a very, very boring, lacklustre game of football. There's no doubt that both sides in that game were really desperate to try and get the points they needed to progress into the Champions League and even maintain their course in the Champions League race. Currently, Chelsea sit 2 points clear of Arsenal, who is currently sat in fifth with a 1 point goal difference in plus. I think so. We haven't got one more goal, but that's because Leicester put 3 past them earlier. So cheers to that, lads. But other than that, look. Today, everyone said it, so I'm going to say as well. It was a game of two halves. There was a lot of frustration as a Chelsea fan watching that game. Higuain being one of them. Kovacic, I did think, even though he did put a shift in, he was still just not quite there. But towards the back end of the game, again, Chelsea started progressing, started trying to really move the ball a bit too late. But look, at the end of the day, I think the other thing as well is we were too busy trying to walk the ball in the net again, just as Yannick predicted. David De Gea obviously spilled it as well to give us the goal when we weren't pressing, which would have been nice. But, we got there eventually, and Marcos Alonso put it in the back of the net. And do you know what? Credit to him today, because when the lineup was announced, I think all of us were not inspired by his selection in the team today. I think that, we were looking at it and weren't confident seeing him play out that left back spot, thinking he would get quite out of position, which he did a couple of times, but he did offer a lot of threat going forward. He offered a lot more of an aerial presence, which is what we needed against the likes of Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku. They were both players who were going to cause issues today and did cause issues. Pogba using the troll, attempted to use the dark arts, and did play quite well today. He just wasn't quite there for the last bit, and Romelu Lukaku, obviously being a player which was always had a lot of hunger, and is always someone who was going to perform against Chelsea. But on top of that, I think we'll go into their goal quickly, and again, this is where the negatives come out, and the biggest issue was that it was that the zonal marking for Chelsea, and in terms of how we were setting ourselves up for that goal, it was far too simple. It was an overlapping ball across the face, back in. It's what we try to do, but we simply can't do it. But the fact that other teams can do it against us is an issue. That's the second time in 2 games we've had balls played across the face of goal and a goal has been scored. This is something which definitely needs to be looked at by Chelsea, and Maurizio Sarri does again need to let go of that stubbornness, because let's be honest here, Emerson, we were calling for, Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, they all finally got on the side. We saw improvements. The zonal marking simply does not work in the Premier League. Even Pep had to change it. Even Mourinho changed. These are world-class managers with proven track records who changed their systems from zonal to man-to-man after realising that the physicality and the nature of the Premier League dictates that you simply cannot go zonal. It proved a lot of issues at set pieces. Lukaku narrowly missed an opportunity to put Man United in the lead after that 1-1 from a corner. Look, we really need to look at that. But obviously, we'll go into a positive now. And I thought, that the substitutions were correct. Timing maybe not so, but I think the Pedro Loftus-Cheek coming on were definitely massive assets in that midfield and on that wing, in that wing position. That's little scamper from Pedro on the right hand side. The power and physicality of Ruben Loftus-Cheek against Paul Pogba and against other players definitely helped us rather than hindered us in that midfield spot. Obviously, the other substitution was Christensen for Rudiger. Christensen was thrown in at the deep end. You can't really say anything about it. I thought he did okay. But the fact that Antonio Rudiger has gone down again with a knee injury, for me, shows that his season is probably over. He's probably not going to be there, and he's quite frankly been our best centre-half. No matter what anybody has to say, he has been one of Chelsea's best players, heart on the sleeve, really cares about the side, solid at the majority of times. Antonio Rudiger will be a massive miss, but this could open the door for Kurt Zouma to come back after a magnificent loan stint at Everton. So it'll be interesting to see how long this injury is. Hopefully it's not too long for Rudy, because he's absolutely amazing player and I love watching him play. I'm a guy who prefers to analyse the defensive players rather than the attacking players. I really do appreciate them sometimes. But anyway, listen, that's the long and short of Rudiger. But as you can tell, slightly different surroundings. Despite being legally in the correct place, had a job's worth shift us, and I just want to get our job done and get stuff done. So listen, we're in a slightly different surrounding. Obviously Man United is still in the background, but look, for today, we just got to move on. We got the point. We now have that cushion for top four. Let's develop, let's push forward, and let's see what we can do. And hopefully we can get past Watford and we can get past Leicester City. Those are very big, tough games that, let's be honest, they're no joke. Watford have been performing really well this season, as have Leicester City, considering they beat Arsenal earlier. But look, other than that, guys, I can't remember what else I had to say. If I remember everything else, I'll talk to you later. Make sure you check out my Twitter as well, at Louis Beneventi. And listen, subscribe to 100% Chelsea. All social media links are down for Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram. And we'll see you later. Take care.